Hey y'all, it is Christy Lewis from Dostoevsky in Space. Today I'm very excited to be unhauling a load of books, like so many books. There might be more books after this that I add to the video because I'm cleaning my shelves, so please excuse the absolute mess that are my shelves. First of all, some of these I'm kind of like, do I really want to get rid of these? But I really think they belong in a different home, honestly, is what I'm thinking. So we have The Help, first of all. Definitely not a bad book. Super funny. I really did love it. Until I thought of some of the criticisms that were going around about it. And then I was like, is it still a good book? I don't know. So I don't know. I think I really enjoyed it. But I don't think I'm going to reread it, So hopefully somebody else will enjoy it. I have a gigantic pile. This is going to take a while. Next, Silence by Shusaku Endo, excuse me. Next, we have Walden and Civil Disobedience by Henry David Thoreau. Why am I getting rid of this? I don't know. I'm probably not going to read the Walden part of it. I mainly thought Civil Disobedience was really interesting because I wrote a story about civil disobedience versus revolution. What's the place of violence in protesting government things that government has done. Walden, bit of a snore, to be honest. I couldn't finish it. I read some of it for school and it was absolutely beautiful, but I guess I need more than that now. Definitely not bad, but it's just not, I'm not gonna reread it. Next, To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee. And literally some of these I'm mostly getting rid of because I don't have that much shelf space left. So I need to be careful how I'm spending it. And this one, I don't need a copy of this. I know that this is some people's favorite book ever. Good book. I really did enjoy it. I read it in high school and I thought it was good. I'm probably not going to reread it. I got this because our county was doing a big read event where everybody got a copy of it, and these were really pretty editions, so I picked one up. But if we're being honest, I'm not going to reread it, and I don't need this. So somebody else can have it. Why am I getting rid of this? I don't know. Again, I'm probably not going to reread it. I really love this cover. This is Dragonfly and Amber by Diana Gabaldon. I actually just pulled out, maybe I should hang on to this because I actually just pulled out Outlander. I'm having a year of rereading, guys. I'm just loving rereading so much. So I just pulled out Outlander to maybe reread soon. So who knows? Maybe I should hang on to this, but I'm probably not going to hang on to it. I'm probably going to get rid of it. Again, I don't have that much shelf space, so I just have to be... I'm just going to sit over here just in case I change my mind. But I think I'm going to get rid of it because the second book was fine, but the first book was my favorite of the ones that I read. It's just that I'm not really a long book reader. I don't like how long it takes me to read her books. And I feel like if I'm going to put in the time and effort to read something that long, it's got to be really, really good, really worth the effort. I might as well put my effort into something worthwhile. Not to say it's not worthwhile, but some people just enjoy it so much that it's worthwhile. And to me, I don't know that I enjoy it that much. I'm not really a historical fiction reader, if you know what I mean. So no shame to those who love that series. I do own the first book. So next, again, this is another one, Fire and also Graceling by Kristen Cashore. I really enjoyed these as a young adult, which is who they're made for, young adults. These are really good for young adult readers. I actually really enjoy this author's writing, Kristen Cashore. But I think some teenager would be really thrilled to get her hands on these. And I don't think I've reread them since I got these. So I might as well give them to somebody who would really enjoy them, right? They're super nice copies. They're hardcover editions. I'm going to hand them to somebody who will really enjoy them. And again, that's kind of the case with a lot of these books. I just think that there's somebody out there who can give them a better home. Speaking of which, Assassin's Apprentice by Robin Hobb. I've read this book a couple of times, and I think the writing's really beautiful. You guys know, I don't really read that much fantasy anymore. It's kind of a nostalgic thing for me. I really enjoy fantasy that I read when I was younger, but I don't actively read the genre as it's like coming out with new stuff anymore. I just got so sick of it when I was doing that. So I don't think I'm gonna probably reread these. I know that's kind of like horrible to say on BookTube. I know so many people who love these with their whole heart, and like I enjoy them when I read them. Am I gonna reread them? I don't know, but I don't need a copy of it, you know? I don't need to buy it. I don't need to own it. Somebody else can enjoy it. This one, okay, this is actually one of my favorite books. A Ring of Endless Light by Madeleine L'Engle. Somewhat of a nostalgic read for me. I think it was a Newbery winner, or a Newbery honor, excuse me. But this copy is so beat up. It's like a total mess, and I own a different copy of it. So I don't think I need two of the exact same copy. I don't think I knew I had it when I bought it. But it's really super beat up. So yeah, I love Madeleine L'Engle though, and I love A Ring of Endless Light. Definitely, it was like one of those books that hit me really hard as a teenager. One of the first books I was truly obsessed with as a teenager. Okay, next, a lot of these are kind of like that. I loved Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants as a teen. It came out when I was a teen. What an era. What a great movie. Really enjoyed it. I think I enjoyed like all the book series. All the books in this series I really enjoyed. I'm probably not going to reread them though. I think I'm a little bit scared too because I think there's something sad that happens. I don't remember it very well. But somebody else can enjoy them. Like seriously, somebody else enjoy it. Next, Believing in Narnia by Natalie Gillespie. This was something a childhood friend of mine gave me. She saw me reading it at a bookstore, but I put it back and didn't buy it because I was like, nah, I don't think I need to read this. And then she bought it for me for my birthday present. So I was like, thank you. Thank you so much. You know how you do. So I hung on to it all this time just because I love that person. But I think it's time to go. I'm not that interested anymore. Much as I love the Chronicles of Narnia, maybe somebody else convince me. If there's one of these books that you're like, don't give it up, Christy, give it another shot, let me know. Maybe I'll try it. But unless somebody specifically is like, read that one about Narnia, then I probably won't. Next, we have Pachinko by Minjin Lee, a book that Jenny and I both did not like. She finished it though, and she was like, I'm actually glad that I read it though because of the history that I learned. For me, not a history major, don't read historical fiction. Jenny was a historical fiction person. I'm not. I just don't care. I just don't like it. It's uncomfortable to read about, and I don't like it. So there's a character in here, a man, who takes advantage of very young women, and that makes me super uncomfortable to read about. I don't really enjoy it. So it is easy reading in like a stylistic way. Sorry, I'm moving around so much. I'm trying to be good to my body, and it's hard. Anyways, Pachinko by Minjin Lee. Goodbye. It's been haunting me. It's so beautiful. I really enjoyed the writing when I first started it. I love Korea. I want to be a history nerd. There's so many reasons why I want to try it, but every time I pick it up, I'm like, I hate this. I hate it. I hate it. Okay, getting rid of it. Woo, 101 secrets a good dad knows. Well, I'm not a dad, and Kev doesn't really read, and he's not a dad either. So this was a book that my dad gave me, actually, which was really sweet. It was somebody on his route, with the author. The author was on his mail route, and she gave him a copy of this, and she even like wrote in it like a note somewhere to the best dad ever, which he is. So I thought that was really sweet. No, it's not written in here. It must have been in an insert. I have the insert somewhere, I must. Anyways, I think I'm just gonna, I don't, give it to someone else. Somebody who's a dad, you know? I'm gonna send it to the thrift store. A dad can read it. Next, Be Free, Galatians. What the heck? I don't even... Maybe I should read this. I don't know. I don't know where I got this. Is this from Mom? Mom, if this is yours, give me a holler. You can have it back. But again, I'm cleaning off my shelves. I have a lot of like really old Christian books that I just need to get out. That's probably more stuff. If I add more stuff to this, I haven't gone through my Christian nonfiction shelf yet. And there's a lot of stuff that like my neighbor gave me, you know, and stuff. And I'm just like, that scared me. I might get more messages like that happening in this video. I haven't figured out how to turn off the sound without like stopping the notifications because I want the notifications for that app. So bear with me. Next, 1000 Gifts, a devotional by Anne Voskamp, which my great aunt gave to me and my mom. And my mom, she kind of read it. Oh, and here's the actual book. So that's the workbook, and here's the book. So my great aunt loved these so much, and she bought copies for like all of the ladies who used to come and visit her. And I started this, and I feel like I just didn't like the writing of it, maybe. The message I think is good, but I just couldn't get through the writing. It was like super purple prosy. I don't like a lot of Christian nonfiction, unfortunately. Yeah. I like kind of the more academic stuff, I think. like there's a book on Hoopla that I'm planning to read. Anyways, I should probably not like pull that up right now. I should probably just keep going. But this one was, I feel like it's for Christian women that maybe don't read as much as I do. That's my opinion. But I could be wrong. You might be one of my viewers, and you're thinking, I love that book so much. So that's cool. I mean, I'm probably misjudging it. It's just not for me, I don't think. Next, Blacklight Express by Philip Reeve, which is actually a really fun book. I really enjoy this series. Railhead was the first book, and I was obsessed with it. I really did enjoy Railhead. It's like about a railroad through space that takes you to different planets, I think. I think that's what it's about. I can't remember. It's been so many years. It's probably been like 8 years. Back when I was writing a fantasy review blog, that's when I was reading these books. And it's really like, it's like a really cool addition, honestly. I'm a little bit sad to give it up, but I'm not going to reread this series. Like, I'm just not. So I'm going to pass it on. It was an interesting idea. It was a little weird. It was a little bit weird. Like somebody falls in love with like an AI robot. I think in that book. It was a little strange. Okay, Mercedes Lackey, Arrows of the Queen. I still to this day have not read Mercedes Lackey. I tried one of her books and the writing was like grating. It was so grating on me. So I really love this cover though. I would love to actually just read it for the cover, but like I said, I got this when I was really into fantasy and then didn't get to it. And then now I'm not really into fantasy. So, okay. I think my escapism isn't really fantasy anymore. I think fantasy takes too much work for me. Escapism has to be an escape. It has to not be work for me. Brandon Sanderson is like the solution. If I need something to relax, I'm like, Brandon Sanderson, cool. Or like Tamar Pierce, like my favorite series by her. I reread a lot. Devil in the White City by Eric Larson. So this, I thought I was going to love this because it's true crime. And it was a National Book Award finalist. But I think what I discovered is I was mainly interested in true crime because it's something I can enjoy with Kevin. And he wasn't interested in this. So I set up a buddy read to read it with Tiffany and realized, oh yeah, well, I'm not really that interested in true crime. I guess I'm not. I tried it, but there was a lot of names. And so I was like, I would have to sit down and read this with my eyes, at least for the beginning. And I don't want to devote that much time to it. I'm not that interested in it. So, Chicago, 1893 at the World's Fair, a serial killer used the fair to lure victims to their death. That's kind of like the premise, which sounds really interesting. But I really enjoyed a different book by Eric Larson, because I think disasters are interesting to me. And it was about a flood. It was like a crazy flood that happened that he wrote about. And I really enjoyed that one. This one, too many names. Yeah. These are like all the books I've DNF'd in my life. Second Summer of the Sisterhood by Anne Brashears. Actually, I haven't DNF'd all of them because I've read this. But I'm probably not going to reread it. So, again, time to go. And we've got another Robin Hobb, Fool's Errand, which, again, is such a cool cover. I love fantasy covers. This one makes me think very like Lord of the Rings, and I love it. I'm not going to read it. Okay, moving on. The Prince and the Pauper by Samuel L. Clemens, aka Mark Twain. This was really annoying. I feel like I'm just complaining about all these books, but it is an UNHAUL. What else am I supposed to do? I loved it, but I'm getting rid of it. Usually not. You know, some of them, yes, but usually not. This one was super annoying. Why was it annoying? I don't remember. There was something obnoxious. No, wait, that was the obnoxious one. Was it Prince and the Pauper? I think this one I just didn't connect with. I think it was a Yankee in King Arthur's Court that was really annoying. So I might have finished this one actually, but so maybe I actually liked this one, but I'm not gonna reread it. I'm not that interested in it. Mark Twain, he's okay. I don't know that he's really for me. He's fine though. He's fine. Okay, getting rid of it. Oh my gosh, I should just throw this one away. This is from a childhood friend, same childhood friend who bought me the Narnia book. She also was really into horror, and Alfred Hitchcock. Her dog, I think, took a couple bites out of this, but she was like, it's so good, you should read it. I never gave it back to her because I'm a terrible person. I think I'll just have to throw this one away. I'm not going to be able to donate it. But she's not here anymore. Like, she lives across the United States, so I mean, I could mail it to her. That would probably be a throwback, but I have a feeling she won't mind. Okay. Next, we have El Sobrino del Mago, which is one of the El Sobrino del Mago, the Magician's Nephew, I think it is, in Spanish. I used to really study Spanish, and this would be fun to read if I got back into it, which I kind of want to at some point, but I'm enjoying Korean so much that I'm probably just going to be reading Korean for a long time. So yeah, it was fine. No, I haven't read this. I read some of it, but it's in Spanish, so I probably won't get to that for a lot of years. Okay, next, Midwives by Chris Bojalian. Don't know how to say that. This sounded intriguing. Somebody described it. Maybe it was Krista from Books and Jams described it. Or maybe I just found it at a book sale. I don't remember why it sounded interesting, but okay. Oh yeah, okay. So one icy winter night in an isolated home in rural Vermont, a seasoned midwife takes desperate measures to save a baby's life. She performs an emergency cesarean section on a mother she believes has died of stroke. But what if Sybil's patient wasn't dead and Sybil inadvertently killed her? It just sounds a little bit grim, honestly. And I don't want to be stressed out. That's really Yeah, it sounds too stressful for me. The Fountainhead by Ayn Rand. For how much I loved Atlas Shrugged, I have not read anything else by Ayn Rand. Because I think if you've read one, you've probably read them all. That's just my guess. If I'm wrong, let me know. I really did enjoy Atlas Shrugged a lot, so I picked up several books by her, like on ebook and all kinds of stuff, and then I just was like, yeah, I read her magnum opus. Do I need to read the other ones? Probably not. Don't judge me. I had a very political period of libertarianism when I was younger, in my 20s, and now not as much. Not such a political person any longer. Next, I really enjoyed the love story, honestly, but it ends in such a crappy way in Atlas Shrugged. I was like, this is disappointing. I'm rewriting the ending in my head. But I was in it for the love story, to be honest. But also the trains. I have a thing for trains. I think they're really interesting. Next, The Works of Lord Byron. I tried this because we love Jenny. And Jenny loved Lord Byron. Oh, there's flags in here. Cool. I'm glad I found those. I don't like Lord Byron. Like his writing. It's too flowery. I'm not really a poetry girly. Again, it's a personal taste. A matter of personal taste. I think he's probably a great writer, but I don't care to read him. So I'm getting rid of this. It's also like the font, people. Who can read that? I mean, I am nearsighted and I can't read that. So it's just a terrible copy. Somebody else can ruin their vision on that one. Next, Are Women Human? Astute essays on the role of women in society. Astute and witty essays, excuse me, by Dorothy L. Sayers. I think I got this before realizing that it's just one essay. I think Not Quite Human, or it's like two essays. Excuse me, it's two essays, and I've read them because she has collections of essays. There's a collection of essays that I read by her. And these two are in it. So I don't really, it's like her feminist essays, which if that's all you know about Dorothy L. Sayers, please read more about her. There's more to her than her feminism. Next, Robinson Crusoe by Daniel Defoe. This was really boring. Sadly, I don't really like Daniel Defoe. I read something else by him too. Nell something. It's about like a woman who goes on all these adventures. I don't know, I read it for English literature. I thought Robinson Crusoe were super boring. Next, Fantastic Tales by edited and introduced by Italo Calvino. I bought this because I really loved The Sandman, which is in here. I really wanted a copy of The Sandman. I love E.T.A. Hoffman. Need to read more by him. I never actually read the other stories in here. Yeah, I've read Young Goodman Brown. That's in here. What else is in here? The Nose I've read by Nikolai Gogol. Gosh, I really probably should like read them. I mean, I own them. Why wouldn't I? But probably I just won't. Just being real about it. A Telltale Heart I've read. So I haven't read most of these, and I would probably enjoy them. But I mostly read ebooks and audiobooks these days, which is a big reason why I'm getting rid of a lot of my hard copies. I just don't pick them up very often. Okay. Moving on. The Warriors by Jen Glenn Gray. I picked this up like a lot of books because the library was throwing it away and I was working there and I was like, no, I'll save it and read it. It sounds interesting. Because of what I was writing at the time. It sounded interesting, but I'm done with that book, so done with this book. So this is like some kind of conspiracy book. The The Biggest Secret, The Book That Will Change the World by David Icke. A friend IRL gave this to me. I didn't realize that she was a conspiracy theorist until she gave this to me. And I was like, oh, cool. I think it involves lizard people, like a lizard dynasty in the US. I don't know. Not super interested. Excuse me. It's very appropriate that I'm yawning in a book haul. It's a nonfiction book. Yeah. My friend did write me a sweet note in it, though, that I found the other day that I didn't realize was in there. And she's actually passed away. So it was really sweet to get that note out of that book. I was like, it was really sweet. And not Jenny, it was a different friend. Okay, Daphne du Maurier, 3 romantic novels of Cornwall. Romantic? Is Rebecca romantic? Is that what you describe it as? I don't know. Anyways, Frenchman's Creek and Jamaica Inn and Rebecca are the books in here. I have decided that Daphne du Maurier is... Oh my gosh, I'm gonna be yawning now. She's not for me. She's a little too intense for me. Yeah, I'm not a domestic thriller type person. I think it's too stressful for me. That kind of reading is stressful for me. Next, Redeployment by Phil Kay. This was good. I mean, look at all the notes I took of this. Holy moly. And these are when I was studying Spanish, so this is like a long time ago. Take readers from the front lines of the war in Iraq and back. That's what this does. Oh, I'm just gonna be yawning. Sorry. This was good, but I'm not gonna reread it. So I'm gonna pass it on. Pinocchio by C. Colati. This was like really intense for a kid's book. Like, Pinocchio gets hung by the neck until he doesn't die. He's just hung all night long in a tree until someone finds him because he's a puppet and he can't die. Like, that's how graphic this is. This was a kid's story? What? But it was this was interesting. If you're a Pinocchio fan, check out the original. It's pretty hardcore. This is a book another friend gave me, How to Train Your Dragon Book 1, which I enjoyed, especially the hilarious illustrations. But it's very, like, juvenile. I love the movie, How to Train Your Dragon. Like, it's just juvenile. You can see, like, the age group that this is for just by the illustrations. And I am not the age group. This is like a very young type of book. I think it's great though for little boys, honestly. My friend really enjoyed it. And he is a boy. So, okay. If I Stay. Did I read this? What? I must have read it. I thought I hadn't read it, but there's notes in it, so I must have. Another YA that was really popular. That I never got into, but I thought I should own it and read it because I was really into YA. Oh boy, I'm so tired. Okay, I'm almost done. Super low energy today. Low energy, Christy. Dragons, the greatest stories. I remember I bought a bunch of sci-fi fantasy collections of like short stories, because I think sci-fi short stories are where it's at, honestly. They're so good. But I never read these, so I'm just going to get rid of them. Again, because I'm like an ebook reader. Why am I getting rid of Italo Calvino? I've never read him before. So I probably shouldn't get rid of him. I might really enjoy him and then regret that I got rid of him. Never mind. I'm not unhauling this one. Okay, I've got 2 books I've sort of changed my mind on. Dragonfly and Amber and The Baron in the Trees by Italo Calvino. Another collection of sci-fi and fantasy short stories that I got from a book sale, like, for really cheap. Far Horizon. So Orson Scott Card, Joe Halderman, excuse me, Ursula K. Le Guin, Anne McCaffrey. There's like a lot of big names in here. Nancy Kress. I'm just probably not gonna read them though. Yeah, I do really enjoy short stories, but not really physical books anymore. If I could get them on ebook, I'd probably check them out. Terran Wanderer. I really wanted to like this series because so many people love it. Not for me, unfortunately. It's a little bit too juvenile. I was never into the silly humor, though, even as a kid. Like, I never liked Percy Jackson series, and so many people love that. But it's just not for me. It's just too, like, the humor is a little bit juvenile. Which is fine. It's just not really my humor. Maybe I should stop saying juvenile. That sounds, like, really patronizing, but that's not what I mean. I mean, it's, like, humor that a lot of kids would enjoy, I think. And I've never really had that even as a kid. I was never like a, this is so funny kind of a kid. I was not the chaotic type. Forever by Judy Blume. Another YA classic, apparently, about a girl's first sexual relationship. I don't know if I really need to read this. I think I bought it because I wanted to be like that cool young adult author who's read all the classics of the genre. But I've never read Judy Blume, and I don't think I'm going to start now. All right, that is it. Hopefully that wasn't too low energy and boring. Thanks for sticking around if you stuck around. And I hope I didn't offend everybody. Yeah, leave me a book pile emoji at the end if you don't want to say anything. But I would love to hear your thoughts. And I'll talk to you next time. Take care. Bye.